Hey everyone, Jeff with Covet the Camper. In this video I'm going to be doing an installation on a Solera LCI 039 Slideout Topper. It's an 8-foot Slideout Topper. It's a little bit longer than, or a little bit wider than most would probably go with on a 7-foot Slideout. I went 7.5 feet because I wanted it to extend out a few inches on either side of the slide out. So typically when you measure out your slide out awning, the measurement should be maybe an inch, no more than an inch wider than the opening for the slide out. So typically you can go to from the outside edge of the T-molding to the outside edge of the T-molding to get your measurement. I went and extended about another 5 or 6 inches just because I wanted that extra coverage on the slide out. All right, so just unpacking the hardware kit. This has all of the brackets and the screws, and then you've got 8-foot GIMP track. This is the track that goes up against the mounts to the side of the camper, and then you've got your that little piece of GIMP trim that tucks in here, and then you've got 2 set screws, one on each side to hold it in place. And then we've got the awning itself in here, so I'll drag this thing out and get it out of the bag. There's the part number and all that good stuff. This is that GIMP molding that slides into the track here once it's mounted to the truck camper or the sidewall. Okay, so with the hardware unpacked from the bag, of course you've got your instructions. You've got your access plate. There's 2 access plates or mounting plates. Access brackets, or mounting brackets with the hex channel. And that's what these guys slide into here. So you can have adjustment. Miscellaneous screws, and you've got your torsion caps. Over here you've got your extension rods, the hex extension rods. And I mentioned before the GIMP track that gets mounted to the sidewall. On the awning itself, you've got your torsion arm with the hex channel also. This is that spring-loaded arm. You've got these pins on either side that are holding that spring tension in place. So make sure that you do not release the tension on these until you're ready, when everything's installed and in place. Otherwise you're gonna have a little bit of a mess rewinding this thing. So first thing you want to do is go through your instruction manual, make sure that you've got all of your parts. So it tells you what the part is in this little diagram here and how many of those parts you should have. So go through and count out everything. So for installation you're going to need some butyl tape, sealant gun, and some sealant. I'm going to use the Lexel Clear instead of the white Dicor. You can use the Dicor does make a black non-leveling. I do have the white non-leveling, but I just don't want to worry about smearing it on the black paint of this slide out topper. So I'm going to go ahead and just use the clear. The Lexel you can pick up at Home Depot or Lowe's. Most hardware stores carry it. It's really good stuff. So I'm just going to confirm that I've got my measurements right. So I've just got these hex extensions just kind of sitting in there, and I've got the mounting plate just slid on there a little bit. So I know from this edge to the outside edge of this plate needs to be well, I know that the opening from inside of the T-molding to inside of the T-molding on the camper is 72 inches. So you can slide these obviously for adjustment anywhere. I know that a 72 inch is going to be probably about right there to right there. So take a measurement on your RV from inside edge of the T-molding to the inside edge of the T-molding. So from here to here is 72 inches on my truck camper, and that's where I need to be. And I know I've got that. I know that that'll work on this slide topper, even though it's a little bit wider. You can see on my old one, they were about midway through that hex rod. And on these, they're gonna be all the way out. Well, almost all the way out to the end. They're gonna be about right there. So I'm gaining about 3 inches of coverage on either side of the slide out. And that's just gonna help keep the rain and, you know, debris and garbage off the top of the slide out. Just give it a little bit more coverage. So here's a picture of that. So this is your T-molding trim on the outside of the slide out, and these brackets will go, you know, they'll mount just like that to the top of the T-molding rail on that inside lip. So, but you're going to need some butyl tape to go on the back side of this. Butyl tape is good, makes a good seal, and it'll be behind each one of these screw holes. And then I'll go around, obviously go around the entire bracket or mounting plate with the clear Lexel sealant. So everything will be sealed really, really well. All right, so the next step, you want to get your extension rod, that hex rod. This has a hole in one end. This side doesn't have any holes. This side's got a hole right there, and then there's a hole right here. You want to make sure that your hex is lined up so those holes line up. And then grab your end cap. The end cap's got a little groove in it, if you can see that. So align all three of those locations, just like that. And then we need to run the 1/4 inch by 20. It's the Phillips head, 1/4 inch 20 by 5/8 to lock that in place. This is a self-tapping thread. Okay, and we'll do the same thing with the other side. Okay, so we need to take our plates, mounting plates, and throw some butyl tape on there. So I'll do 2 strips of the butyl tape. Do the same thing with this one. All right, so before we get these mounting plates, the plates mounted, I want to clean the side of the camper, just where those brackets are going to go. You want to clean that area with like some cleaning vinegar, just in case there's some wax residue or anything on there. You want to get that off. You want to make sure you get a good seal. This butyl tape has to have a good seal against the sidewall surface. So done that, I'm going to go ahead and get these brackets mounted. And then we mount these with the 10 by 13 by 1 1/4 inch long recessed square head screws. Okay, so I've got my new brackets, the mounting brackets for the new awning put on there. I had an old awning rail from my old slide out topper up there. I've taken that off and cleaned up the old butyl tape. Now I can put the new butyl tape on the new awning rail on the back side there and get this thing mounted. After it's mounted, we'll spray this channel with some lubricant. I like to use this rubber seal treatment. It's a good friction reducer. You get it up in this channel, and it's a foaming spray, so it stays in place better than the silicone spray. I use this stuff all the time. Okay, all the new butyl tape has been put on the awning rail, the new awning rail. Now all I need to do is get my measurement. I'm just going to mark with a pencil on the side of the camper on the outside edge. So I'll find the center and then measure out to the outside edge 1/2 of the length of this awning rail. So this new awning rail is 90 inches, so I will put a center line there at 45 inches. Same here, find the center line there, which is easy enough because that window is center. Measure out 45 inches, and that's where I'll make my pencil mark. All right, so I've got my little center mark there and my pencil mark there. And we'll just take this, and I want to get it up as high as possible. Line those marks up and go ahead and screw it in. All right, so what I like to do to make sure that my slide out topper has even tension when it's out and in. So I'll take my tape measure and I'll go from the top of the bracket to the bottom of the awning, the new awning rail. We've got exactly 6 inches here, and we're a little low here. So I'm pushed up against the top of the gutter there, so I'm going to bring this down 1/2 inch. Okay, new awning rail installed. I go ahead and start threading the awning. Well, I need to spray that first with that lubricant, and then I can start feeding the awning through that channel, get everything mounted to the brackets. All right, so you can see the importance of the lubricating spray. So now I just want to measure to make sure I've got the same amount of fabric overhanging on both sides. I can see I need to go that way a little bit more, maybe an inch, and then I can throw my set screw in and get the brackets mounted to the tension arms. All right, so with that bracket already locked in place with one set screw, I can measure over and make sure that I've got the same distance, the same overhang. So I just need to go that way just a little bit, and we should be centered, probably just 1/2 inch. Then I can lock everything in place. All right, so now I can take that little set screw on the end of my Allen wrench, thread it in. 2 per bracket, one here and one here. Thread those in and tighten them up. Okay, those 2 screws are set and tight. Now I've got 2 self-tapping screws that go in these holes here that'll lock the bar, the hex bar, to the mounting plate. Okay, so then you can put your set screw in place, and that just prevents the fabric from sliding back and forth in the channel. There's one on each end. All right, so now what we need to do is just pull this back a little bit and relieve some tension and remove this spring clip. So this is what's holding the tension in right now. So we just pull this out of the channel and slide it out of these holes, and then it'll be ready to test. All right, we get good tension all the way across. That fabric's pretty good. All right, well, that's really it. Only took about an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes to do this. One's pretty small awning cover or slide out cover, so the longer ones probably take you a little bit longer, and you need 2 people for the longer ones. This was about the maximum that I'd want to do by myself. You need 2 people to feed that gimp through the channel, through the awning rail, and get everything leveled out the way it needs to be. It can be a little tricky if you're trying to do it by yourself, especially if you're up on the roof trying to run it through that channel by yourself. On a longer one, it can get the little gimp stuff can slide out of the channel, or you can, tear the awning fabric because it's at the wrong angle. So have a couple people. It's just easier to do. But anyway, this is one I did on the small slide out on my truck camper. Pretty easy to do by yourself, so you could see. And hopefully you guys liked the video. Give me a thumbs up if you did. And if you have any questions or anything, give me some comments or questions down below in the comment section. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Got new videos coming out, 2, 3, 4 times a month, depending on how much I actually get out, use the truck camper if I'm not working. So anyway, you guys hopefully you enjoyed the video, and catch you on the next one. Later. I ended up using some ProFlex by GeoCell. This is the clear stuff to seal that Solera awning top rail, that drip rail up on the top. Everything's all sealed up. Let it cure for a couple of days and should be good.